Hello all and welcome, and I'm MGTOW philosopher, and in this video I'd like to talk about a story I came across in the Telegraph from the UK, one of the most cucked countries on earth, one of the top 5 feminist countries in the world, where a mother calls for Sleeping Beauty to be banned from her primary school of her son as it's supposedly promoting inappropriate behavior. Now my guess is that this woman is a single mother. It's the UK, number one. UK women are mostly fat and ugly, fugly, broads. So, you know, they can't get a man, or if they do get a man, it's just for like a late night booty call at 2, 3 in the morning. It's dark. Nobody sees the man as he sneaks into this woman's flat and sneaks out. You know, it's one of those shame fucks. I'm ashamed, but I'm so horny. I'm a young guy. I gotta have it. Ooh, she's okay. She's a little overweight. She's not too attractive, but I'll just bang her with the lights out. Yeah, one of those things. And then 9 months later, you got a baby. And of course, the man, he didn't want anything to do with her. He's going to do what's required of him. He's going to pay the requisite child support and then have nothing to do with her, which leads her to being very bitter. Ooh, that son of a bitch, he doesn't want me. I hate men. Oh, now my feminist tendencies are going to come to the forefront, and I'm really going to hate on men by seeing use and abuse of women everywhere, even in Sleeping Beauty. So we have the kiss scene from the 1959 version of Sleeping Beauty. Oh yeah, that's Eve, wouldn't it? Can you guess where the inappropriate sexual behavior is in this picture? I mean, if you know anything about feminists, you shouldn't have too hard a time. Well, let's see what kind of deluded, delusional, retard, libtard thinking that this woman has, and get to the meat of the story, shall we? Hear it from the fool's mouth. A mother has asked for Sleeping Beauty to be removed from the classes of younger children at her son's primary schools that promotes inappropriate sexual behavior. And of course, since she's one person, she has all the power. The more of a minority you are in today's Western world, the more power you have, because it's the tyranny of the majority, don't you know? And the minority, the tyranny of the minority. And if you are the minority, you have more power than the majority. Oh, I'm 1%, but I have all the power because I'm oppressed. I'm one person. I'm uncomfortable. I'm upset. I'm angry. I've been triggered, so my feelings are more important than the other 99 people who could give a shit. Yes, it makes me uncomfortable. Some handsome young prince wanted a beautiful young girl, and she's so much better looking than my big fat ass, and the man who just visited me at 3 in the morning for a booty call ran off once he found out I had a baby, and I couldn't trap him into a relationship because I'm so hideous. So now I'm bitter, and I hate depictions of love everywhere, anywhere I see them. Sarah Hall from Northumberland Park near Newcastle raised the issue after her 6-year-old son brought home a children's book version of the fairy tale, and this uneducated blob, who apparently had never been made aware of this story before, sees the picture and flips out. Oh, it triggered me. Yeah. Oh, my God. The mother of two at that. No mention of her husband as of yet. Mother of 2, so we can reasonably assume that she's probably a single mother, and she's got 2 kids, so she's twice as much of a whore. The mother of 2 said she was concerned about the message that the story, where a prince kisses Sleeping Beauty to wake up from her cursed slumber, sent younger children. You idiot! It's a plot device, you fool! However, she added that she felt the story should not be completely removed from the curriculum, and it could just be used to start a conversation with younger children about consent. Yeah, because we've got to abuse these children by talking to them about sex and sexual issues of the perverted left. Because, of course, if you weren't already aware, there were videos circulating around YouTube with freaking adults showing 8, 9, 10-year-old kids dildos and other sexual toys to try and educate them on how to pleasure themselves. Yeah, the left is sure progressive, aren't they? Speaking of the Newcastle Chronicle, Miss Hall said, I think it's a specific issue in the Sleeping Beauty story about sexual behavior and consent. It's about saying, is this still relevant? Is this still appropriate? Are you fucking brain dead? Are you a fucking moron? Are you a fucking idiot? Do you tick all the boxes for a low IQ, mouth-breathing moron? Check, check, check. It's just so hard to believe people this stupid, so ruled by their emotions, lacking logic and critical thinking skills, exist in the world. Well, that tells you right there how much women actually have to do with innovation and technology and creation and maintaining the advanced technology and infrastructure we have now. Big fat zero. The story goes on to say, as Miss Hall essentially yammers about shit she doesn't know, essentially parroting, feminist ideology in today's society isn't appropriate. I can't tell you why it's not appropriate, but I just know it's inappropriate because I'm a fucking robot machine and I'm just parroting what I was told to parrot. My son's only 6. He absorbs everything he sees, and it isn't as if I can turn it into a constructive conversation. What conversation? He's just reading a fucking fairy tale, you dumb bitch. None of this shit occurs to him. He's 6 years old, honey. He doesn't know what sex is. He doesn't know what any of this stuff is. You're the one who's trying to put it into his mind, which will essentially sexualize a 6-year-old. Who talks about consent issues with a 6-year-old? Sex is not in their vocabulary. They don't know anything about it. It's totally innocent. You are the one making it an issue because of your hang-ups. To continue, I don't think taking Sleeping Beauty books out of the circulation completely would be right. You're a mouth-breathing moron with no education who makes her living by popping out kids, and you think that you should be the one deciding what school books are read. What books are read in school? Really? Really? Oh, well, that's a good idea. Sure, yeah. I actually think it would be a great resource for older children. Yeah, because you could use it to spin your evil feminist narrative. It could be a vehicle for your ideology, which is really what you want to do now with 6-year-olds. Yeah. By the way, UK is one of those countries that has a transsexual story time for little kids, 3, 4 years old. Yeah, where transsexuals come in dressed up like clowns with all their fucking makeup and their fake hair, dressed up like drag queens, literally, and read stories to kids. Isn't that precious? You could have a conversation around it, but you could talk about consent and how the princess might feel. Fuck you, bitch! I don't give a fuck how the princess feels. She's lying there dead. She's half dead in a magically induced sleep. The kiss is a plot device, you dumb bitch. Stop taking everything so literally and stop trying to take the fun out of everything. But I'm really concerned about it for my younger children. But that's because you're a moron who can't think, okay? And would really welcome a conversation about whether this is suitable material. Honey, it's the context that's important. I know that as a leftist moron, you believe the context doesn't matter. Of course, because that is a line that the leftists love to spread so they can justify the destruction of Western society and traditions and culture. But yeah, context does matter. And in the context of a 6-year-old, he didn't know a goddamn thing about sex. So it's perfectly suitable, okay? And by the way, it's totally innocent, too. It's just a silly little kid story. Yeah, and by the way, honey, it's a story. Oh, God. The story of Sleeping Beauty, it's like trying to explain to a monkey how the Big Bang worked and what E equals MC square means. The story of Sleeping Beauty originates from the tale of the sun, moon, and Talia by the 16th century Italian poet Giambattista. Oh, God, I butchered that, I'm sure. Basile. In the original telling, a princess falls asleep under a spell and is raped by a king who finds her in a palace while out hunting. Yeah, now that story would be inappropriate for a child. Yeah, now that story I would have a problem with, but I don't have a problem with the story of Sleeping Beauty, okay? Under a spell is raped by a king who finds her in her palace while out hunting. The princess later wakes up, falls in love with the king, and marries him. Oh, good Lord. Yeah, that would be inappropriate for a child, but Sleeping Beauty is not inappropriate. And by the way, why is a kiss always some kind of evil thing with these feminist cunts? You know? Don't fathers kiss daughters? Don't sons kiss mothers? Oh, it's always an evil thing and a representation of sexual desire. And we want to ban it in families as well, and we would if we could. To continue, the fairy tale was later adapted into the modern version, which sees a princess cursed by a sorceress who is not invited to the celebration of her birth. The curse says the princess will die after pricking her finger on a spindle, but a good fairy manages to partially reverse the spell that she instead falls asleep for 100 years. Okay, nothing wrong with that. The Sleeping Beauty princess is then woken from her slumber after being kissed by a prince who discovers her in the castle. Nothing wrong with that. Oh, well, that's evil because he didn't get consent. So let's take a child's story, out of context, which is for kids, where there's no sexual connotation, and try to take it and put it into a different context of an adult context, which is essentially you wanting to try and force adult sexualized ideas and adult content onto a child to essentially shoehorn in your feminist ideology to 6-year-olds. Oh, I see. So it's just a further attempt to indoctrinate kids at as young an age as possible into feminist ideology. In the book, Miss Wholesome brought home a character called Kipper is seen telling the prince to kiss the princess, and then she wakes up. Everyone knows that. Yeah, where's the evil? There's no subtext here of malevolence. There's just a prince trying to help someone. Oh, but he didn't get consent for the kiss. Oh, well, there's no... Well, that's taking it out of context. Well, context doesn't matter. No such thing as context. An evil action is an evil action. He kissed her without consent. It doesn't matter that he did it to save her life. He was a good Samaritan. Oh, no. Do you see how wacky and crazy feminists are? Do you see it? Do you see it? Do you see how women, almost all women, lack the ability to use critical thinking and logic? They don't even understand the context of a situation. They're so stupid. The 40-year-old said she was partly prompted to take action over the book by 40 years old, and she has a 6-year-old? What the hell? Okay, this is... She was partly prompted to take action over the book by the coverage of the recent sexual harassment scandals. Oh, I see. The mass hysteria, mass hypnosis of the Harvey Weinstein scandal. Everybody wants to get in on the virtue signaling and the victimhood narrative. When tweeting about the book her son brought home, she used the MeToo hashtag. Yeah, look at me! I'm virtuous! Look at me! You're a fucking moron. Yeah, I'm going to destroy society and destroy a wonderful children's book that has been beloved for decades. But hell, I'm making myself feel good and popular, and I'm virtuous. Yeah. That fucking MeToo hashtag. Give me a break. 99.9% of the women complaining about having been sexually harassed are full of bullshit. They're full of shit. They're taking some innocent exchange and then blowing it up with their own solipsistic nonsense and their own subjective reality to be something more than it was, because every little thing now has been defined as sexual harassment or sexual assault. He raped me. He raped me with his eyes. Me too hashtag. Which thousands of women have now used to share their experiences of sexual harassment in the wake of the Harvey Weinstein scandal. And by the way, do you notice that all these men that are being accused of supposed sexual harassment are all male feminists? They're all leftists? Have anybody noticed that? Oh no, the media doesn't talk about that. You know, these guys are leftists, and these guys are their boys when these Hollywood idiots are talking about leftism and pushing stupid libtard ideas. But the moment these people can be branded as evil men and used to push the feminist leftist narrative, they are discarded as the useful fools they are, as the white knight pussy idiots they are, and they are discarded like rubbish and used by those same women who held them up as these wonderful icons of liberalism, and now they're scum. They're all scum! Ay. And look at this. Oh, we got a new story now. So now the prince is a black man. It's not good enough for the left. So the prince, when I was a kid, was a attractive white guy, you know, with flowing hair, and he was a pretty boy, and, you know, all that. Classic Chad. Now we got this kinky-haired black guy with a goatee. Oh, but that's not enough. That's not enough to make her happy. Oh, look at that. The prince is being portrayed as a white man, a white cisgendered male. Woo! And they got themselves in an uproar over that, so the book has now been changed. And now it's a black man. God. And she's still unhappy because, he kissed her without consent. Story goes on to say, the mother then left a comment in her son's record book and has since contacted the school to ask for the book to be removed from younger classes. And of course, you know they'll do it. Because this broad reached out to the media, and the media actually printed this crap. And of course, every school buckles Because they like to buckle. Because every little thing that they can use the virtue signal, they will grasp onto with as if it was grim death. They will latch onto that son of a bitch. I mean, come on now. This is all about virtue signaling. And since the majority of teachers are women and the majority of women are liberal idiots, especially when they're school teachers, okay, every little thing, just like this book. Now, the prince is a black man. So some parent complained, and the teachers all went, ooh, we can virtue signal over this and make ourselves look and feel wonderful. Yeah, and we get it changed. So a bunch of teachers complained, and parents complained, and then the teachers saw it, and they complained, and they got the book changed, and Prince Charming became a black guy. But of course, you know, the princess, she stayed a white woman, of course, because we want to promote. Yeah, we want to promote interrace marriage. We want to show how progressive we are. Yeah. But they hadn't thought up the idea that the kiss of waking her up was somehow problematic. And now this mother has taken it to a new level of insanity. And of course, the book will be changed or removed. Now the kiss will become like a peck on the cheek or a peck on the head, or he'll kiss her hand or something. But even then, somebody will complain, that's too much. He didn't ask for consent to kiss her hand, so he'll just breathe on her or something. God. The left wants to destroy everything wholesome and good about America by branding it as somehow tainted and evil. Yeah, this mother with way too much time on her hands, and obviously a single mother, Miss Hall added, these are indicative of how ingrained that kind of behavior is in society. What behavior? Oh, you believe in a rape narrative because you're a fucking retard. All these small things build up and they make a difference. No, you're an idiot. You're a fucking moron. Show me evidence that Snow White contributes to rape of women, you dimwit. I think it's a specific issue in the Sleeping Beauty story about sexual behavior and consent. They're 6-year-olds. It's not in that context, you fool. It's about saying it's still relevant and is it appropriate. Funny how these things weren't a problem back when this story was written. But of course, you insightful leftist feminists, you ferreted out the problems in society. Yes, the problems in society are caused by children's books where a prince wakes up a magically induced coma victim by kissing her lightly on the lips. And of course, that has to be sending a sexual message to kids. Let me know what you think of Miss Hall in the comment sections of this video. And please like and subscribe and leave a donation on my Patreon if you were so inclined. And let me know what you think of this fucking moron. I'm the MGTOW philosopher, and I wish you a good day. Take care.